Hey folks, welcome to the Wealth Transfer with TC. Today, I'm going to go ahead and go over the Texas oil prophecies. I posted a couple of videos about the Texas oil and some of the prophetic words from various different people concerning the price of oil, the price of gas, and a few other things. Right? And specifically, Christopher Harris had a date of the 7th of April concerning oil. So I'm getting ready to share with you what actually took place on the 7th. But first, before I get into that, folks, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing information and giving you my thoughts and my opinions on that information. If you guys like these videos that I make, the support links are down below in the description and also the About section of YouTube, the Patreon, PayPal, and so on. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get right into this. Now, the first thing is that just because there are prophecies that are out there concerning certain investments doesn't necessarily mean that you have to get into every single one or feel like you're going to miss out, because there are plenty. Not every prophecy is for everybody, and also depending on your skill level as far as trading, because the oil markets are very volatile, and you're going to have to learn how to let go of certain things and not hold on. It's not for everybody, and if you're not that experienced, then I wouldn't worry about it so much. All right, so right before me, I have the Texas Oil Prophecy Document. And here I have listed the different prophetic words. And then I also have the different companies that are based in Texas. And these were the prices. What I have here is these are the prices around the time that I released the video. And these are the prices that there are now as far as the stock price. And some of them have gone up and some of them have gone down. Right, and then I have the prophetic words. I got the one by Lisa Graves where she was talking about people getting wealthy off the oil stocks, and she also had a separate one dealing with Zion oil. And then we have Walking Journey at $9 per gallon, and then Robin Cunningham had one that talked about gas shortages and United States being forced to open up oil. And then we also have Rosalind Solomon who talked about Texas oil. Now, of course, there are plenty of more, especially in the document dealing with inflation, because there are other prophetic words dealing with high gas prices. If the cost of food is going up, it's because the price of oil is going up, right? Because of transportation. So that's one of the key things that drives the price of food to go up. Now, quickly, I want to go over what Christopher Harris was saying about some pricing points dealing with gas and oil, right? So on the 14th of March, he said, "Then I received in a dream Putin's gas price 500. I looked up the main European gas price and it was at 131 euros after a recent high of 225 euros. So I expect this to spike over 500. So that particular document dealing with the record gas prices, that news article, it is there in this document, but it just goes to show during that brief time period, gas was very expensive. That's one of the things that I'm expecting is the European gas price to go over 500 euros. Okay, then he had another prophetic word concerning Texas and oil, right? That was on the 23rd of March. I had a dream and I saw a person who picked up another person and they merged together, and I knew it represented a partnership, and it was Italy Oil Texas. And I received about EU oil. I believe this is a dream could be about Texas supplying the EU oil and possibly increasing their production as the EU imports a quarter of their oil from Russia. Texas is already the highest oil producing state in the United States. So in this prophetic word, he's talking about Italy, oil, and Texas. So I believe that's going to be one of the first prophetic words that's going to come to pass, that when you see Italy going to Texas about oil or gas, then you know that things are going to really start rolling as far as that. And then he talked about EU oil. So maybe Texas is going to be one of the primary states that's going to be shipping a lot of oil to the EU. Right? And then on the 25th of March, he said, I also received the message $200 oil. This is very high. The all-time high is 147. I also received the date 7th April. I don't know what this is about. I prayed to ask what it was about, but did not receive any further information yet. And in this particular prophecy, it's $200 per barrel of oil. All right, so that's pretty high, right? And I also believe that is our selling point, that when we see $200, whatever stocks you're invested in as far as oil stocks, that's when you're going to get out. And so looking at the news currently right now, the EU really hasn't banned oil and gas from Russia yet. So I'm expecting that to happen. They may make a deal with Texas and some of the oil companies, but I have not seen that in the news at all whatsoever. Right? So I researched that before I made this video, and the only thing that I could find is that they did ban coal, but they're struggling with the idea of banning gas and oil because the countries in the EU need it. All right, so what did happen on April the 7th? This particular article came out on April the 7th at 11 a.m. and it said, Senate votes 100-0 to limit trade with Russia, ban oil imports. All right, so that was the sign. April 7th, this is what happened. This is going to be pretty huge. When I saw this, I was like, okay, this is the beginning of us at some point going to $200 a barrel for oil and then seeing gas prices at $500. But the very next day, Biden signs bill limiting trade with Russia. Biden also signed a bill codifying his ban on Russian oil imports, the White House announced in the news release Friday afternoon. So this is where we're going to see the beginning of these high prices. So that's what actually took place. So the events that unfold after this, Putin may decide to do whatever he wants to do with gas and oil to try to force the United States and EU to make oil and gas super expensive. So the main thing that we need to be looking for down the road is seeing some kind of deals made with Texas and Italy and maybe any other European countries or EU as a whole. Right? When that happens, I believe that's when these stocks are probably going to start taking off, or they could take off before then when oil is reaching those highs. Right? So I do believe, so there's a few different scenarios with that. But one of the most important things is I see volatility in the oil markets. Right? So if you're just buying and holding, well, we're waiting for the $200 barrel of oil. And then that's when we would sell when we get closer to that point. That's how I'm seeing it as of right now, unless we get any other prophetic words that changes. But when you look at the price of oil right now, what the average is about $100 per barrel, right? When you put them all together, might be a little bit more or a little bit less. But if gas prices go to double than what they are now, that means the price per barrel of oil is going to double from where it's at right now. So for those of you who are looking at this or you are invested in these companies already, just know that things are getting ready to change. I don't know when this is all going to happen. I don't know if these companies, their stock prices are going to go lower than what they are. All right, so all that remains to be seen. So I just wanted to point that out, that I believe that we are in the beginning of seeing these prices go up. But we're going to wait to see what happens with Putin's 500 and the price of oil, and see if any deals are going to be made with Texas and Italy and the EU. So anyways, folks, that's all that I have for this. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update. I am going to be doing a video on Zion Oil and Gas and EEENF and kind of give you my thoughts about what's going on and what to prepare for. So I thank you guys for listening. God bless. TC out.